Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are trying out the new Urban Decay Wild West eyeshadow palette. Do you guys remember that song? Wild West. I know you know that song. Don't leave me hanging. I'm Christy, by the way. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. Join our lovely glam fam. We have so much fun here. We're here every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and you don't want to miss a video. Please give this video a huge thumbs up as well. You guys hit that like button and follow me at Christy Allure on Instagram and on my blog, ChristyAllure.com. You know, I'm not a huge Urban Decay Naked palette fan. I own them all, but they're not my favorite palettes I've ever owned. I was excited about this one, you guys. I think the color scheme is so beautiful, and the fact that it's inspired by California. I'm a Cali girl at heart. I was born and raised here in California, and I just love that it's inspired by that. I think it's a beautiful palette. I cannot wait for you guys to see how I created this look. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, you guys, let's just jump right into this. I'm so excited to try out this new Naked palette from Urban Decay. I will show the up-close shots right there. It is so beautiful. Just that typical Urban Decay Naked packaging. Very sturdy, very beautiful. Those colors, oh my goodness. And it comes with a dual-sided brush. I actually really like their brushes that come with their Naked palettes. Typically, they perform very good, unlike the standard brushes that usually come in these palettes that are totally useless. But I have to be honest with you guys, when I first saw that they were releasing another palette, I thought to myself, am I that excited about it? I haven't been that excited about Naked palettes in a while. When we first started getting into pigments, you know, there was MAC, and then Urban Decay came out with their Naked palettes and some of their single palettes. And for the first time, we were really seeing a lot of pigment. But then I started getting into Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath shadows, and I was like, okay, wow, that's pigmentation. That is what we call performance Viseart. There's just so many good brands out there that I felt like Urban Decay just started kind of falling down a tunnel where people weren't using their shadows as much. But I was really excited to try this one. I don't know what the whole color scheme just spoke to me on this palette. This palette runs $49. You get 12 gorgeous desert-inspired neutral eyeshadows, from pale peaches to terracotta, metallic bronze, to that deep blue, green, and turquoise shimmers. Oh my goodness, so beautiful, you guys. It is vegan and cruelty-free. It was inspired by my home state of California and our deserts, Joshua trees, and endless skies. I'll show you the swatches right there. They swatched beautifully, and I can't say that my older Naked palettes swatched that beautifully. I don't know what it is. This palette just really jumped out at me, and I was really excited to get my hands on it. We are going to prime our eyes with the Urban Decay Eden eyeshadow primer potion. I love this one. I am not that big of a fan of the original one. I think it's good. I think at that time when it first launched, we didn't have a whole lot to go with. And I thought, besides my MAC Soft Ochre, there wasn't really too many eyeshadow primer type products out there. But I think that the Eden one is so much better. So let's just get into it, and let's just put some eye primer on. I already do have all of my face on because I just filmed the MAC the new MAC Studio Fix Cream to Powder Foundation. So that will come out. You will be able to see that video first. So check that video out. I'm kind of about 4 hours into it. So I'm kind of doing a wear test in combination with this video in a sense. I do find with Urban Decay shadows, you definitely need to prime. It is very important. I'm just patting that in there. So you see how easy this blends out. It just goes over very textured skin very nicely. I don't know, I have something going on there. I have like an oil gland right there. Let's go over those swatches. You've got Standoff, which is a soft beige matte. Spur, a pale peach matte. Nudie, which is a light warm matte. Hold'em, warm bronze creamy metallic. Cowboy Rick, a warm silvery creamy metallic. Lorado, a taupe matte. Bud is a soft turquoise shimmer. Rustler, which is a deep copper shimmer. Ghost Town, a terracotta matte. Whiskey, a rich brown matte. Tex, a deep blue-green matte, and Pony Up, which is a cool slate matte. Before we get started, I want to show you this product, so I'll show you a close-up right there, the Velvetizer. It's a translucent mix-in medium powder. It has like an ultra-fine soft focus finish. You can mix it with your foundation to create a velvety feel and a beautiful matte finish for added coverage, which I'd like to do on a separate video. And it gives you more of that like airbrush looking naked skin fill. But you can also use it as a setting powder and it will give you like that ultra fine soft focus finish. Let me get a smaller brush because this is a small little packaging right here. So I'm just gonna take it on this CHIKUHODO brush I love using. And we're just gonna kind of, I don't know, I guess powder under, oh my gosh, you guys. That is so velvety to the touch. What? That was starting to look a little crusty right there. And wow, wow. Do you guys see how beautiful that is on the skin? What? Why have I been sleeping on this? Where has this been all my life? Seriously, you guys, wow. This is a good powder. Okay, I've been sleeping on this. I did have them notify me when the full version comes in. I will be purchasing the full version. That is a phenomenal setting powder. I don't know how it is with as in a mix-in. I've never tried doing mix-ins, so I'm not quite sure, but that is really pretty. That calmed down that, it was aggressive. I was having an aggressive moment with my bronzer, apparently. Okay, whew. Anyway, let's just dive in. So let's try it with this brush and let's just take that first shade right here, Standoff, which is like just a creamy peachy matte. Hi, why don't we get dirty at the same time? And just, oh, I don't know about this brush. Usually I like their brushes, you guys. I don't know, these are feeling a little stiffer than I like their older brushes better. Okay, well, good to know. Let's go back into, maybe I'm just so spoiled by my Sonia G. Let me bring my eyeshadow brushes over here so I don't have to keep reaching. So I'm gonna take my Sonia G Worker 3, which is what I normally use. I love this brush for setting down my eyeshadow bases and just putting that first color on. So pretty. You can use the mirror in here, but I can't see out of it. Let's be honest here. That's not gonna work for me. We'll just use my little Reiki mirror. Very beautiful shade to just really either just give you a very natural finish. It just blends in with my skin. So pretty. Okay, let's go in with my first transition shade and we're gonna go in with this third color right here. It's called Nudie. How appropriate is like a perfect nude color. So we're going with that for the transition shade. We'll use my typical CHIKUHODO brush. Oh, I'm disappointed. That brush is usually really good in that palette. Okay, and we'll just take that on there. I love this brush for my first transition shade. Again, whenever I say I love a brush, it doesn't mean I'm telling you guys you have to go out and buy it. I always put it in the description box, the links. And again, when you guys utilize my links, if you're new to my channel, it does really help support my channel. But I always put them in there, but that doesn't mean you have to use that brush. Just use whatever brush you want. All right, let's go in. Let's start building up this turquoise darker color right here. And that one is called Tex. We'll go in with my Sonia G Mini Booster. It's a perfect one, especially if you have more hooded eyes or smaller eyes. Another good one is for more affordable, even more affordable. This is not that bad though, but even more affordable is the E35 from Sigma. It's a synthetic one. This is a natural hair, the Sonia G, and this is a synthetic. So we'll see. I don't know how much pigment I'm gonna get out of this shade right here, so we're about to find out. Okay. It's Urban Decay, and typically, sometimes with their mattes though, they're a little bit more buildable, and I wanna start very, very tight to the eye. So like right here, I don't wanna, you know, go up too far on that. Again, when you use a natural hair brush, you are gonna deposit a little less pigment than you would with a synthetic brush. I'll show you the difference. Here's a Sigma one. This is a natural hair brush, okay? Same kind of concept, very small, and that's gonna give you a little bit more pigment. I just find that if I go softer, it's easier to blend out. So pretty. I like my Sonia G one though. It's just easier to work with. Oh, I'm sorry. This Sigma one is even tighter. This is the E42. Sorry, that was the one I was referring to. Let's try that one now, just out of curiosity. Oh yeah, actually I kind of like this one because it's depositing a little bit more pigment. Probably should put in, let's put in a little bit of this Velvetizer powder underneath, just a little bit more, just in case, because we are going to go into these darker colors. So it does make me a little nervous. Let's try doing this with the little Morphe sponge and seeing how it works. I think this is one, oh yeah, this is one of those powders that are so finely milled. It's almost like, yeah, you're gonna have to use a brush with this guy. As long as we have some powder down there, we're not per se baking with. This is not like a baking powder, just so you guys know that. We're just putting this down so that if anything falls out, oh my gosh, this powder is incredible. Incredible. We're gonna cut crease with my P. Louise just because that Urban Decay one is a little bit thinner, and I just always find that P. Louise just cuts it better. Something about it. I'm not like amazing at cut creasing, so I'm not even gonna pretend like, oh my gosh, I'm so good at it. I just do it to my liking. So let me see if I can do it in this mirror. And I'm just gonna kind of take that and push that down like that. We're not doing like a perfect cut crease. We're just trying to lay down a base so that it gives that next color something to hold on to. Now I'm gonna go in with this CHIKUHODO T8, I wanna say. I'll put it right there like I always do. And I just wanna get it so that I'm nice and precise and cleaning up that line with this blue color right here. Bluish green. That just kind of allows me to stay more tapered and not, you know, get out of control with it. Now let's go in with my Marc Jacobs Crease brush. I talked about this brush in the Marc Jacobs. I'll show you right there. I reviewed his Cafe collection. We're gonna go in with this color again, and we're just gonna kind of diffuse out those edges of that text color. You can use anything you want to do that. We're gonna use that first transition shade we used. Just soften out the edges. Now let's go in with the star of the show, which I'm so excited to try this color out right there, Bud. I could not wait to get into you, Bud. We're gonna use this crown brush I always use. So I'm gonna just kind of place it nice and neat in there with the brush, and then I'll go in with my finger afterwards. Let's see if we need to wet this brush. So it's not coming off on the brush as pigmented as I thought it would be. But you know, who knows until you put it on the eye. Oh, okay, it's there though. It's there. Let's try wetting the brush though. Just because I want to, we'll use my Urban Decay All Nighter Spray and wet that down. Yeah, you definitely get a lot more pigment when you spray the brush. All right, now I'm gonna take my MAC 242, since we got most of the detail in there. I'm gonna try just doing it with a brush, and if we have to go in with my finger, we will. It's not as, I'm gonna be honest, it's not as vibrant as I had hoped, but it's getting in there. It's just taking up a little bit more time than I thought. Not like a, you know, Pat McGrath where you go in there in one swipe and you have so much pigment. So that surprises me a little. Make sure you always get into that lash line because you don't want any gaps. Let me try using my finger just out of curiosity. I do find with a lot of the Naked palettes, when the metallics, the finger oh yeah, see the finger does work better. Okay. Again, they're just not as strong as, I think the mattes perform a little bit better, to be quite honest, but it's still beautiful. So beautiful though, right? All right, so we're getting a little dirty underneath, but that's okay. I mean, I kind of did the other one off camera, but yeah, so pretty though. It does take a minute though to build up those greens, more than I actually anticipated it was going to. I really thought those were gonna perform a little bit better, to be, if I'm being honest. I feel like this one I have to keep kind of building up for it to stick. And I have P. Louise, which makes every eyeshadow go on perfectly, so yeah, I'm a little surprised with that one, but that's okay. It's still really beautiful, really beautiful. Let's take like this color right here and just kind of warm it up a little bit. It's a really pretty color. Very pretty, like a very beautiful terracotta reddish color. Make sure you get that off. Again, they're mattes. Yeah, they're mattes just, oh my gosh, that's almost too aggressive. All right, let's take my Morphe brush and smooth that out. Whoa, that was a little, that was intense. See, that is what I wanted the blue to do. But yeah, that's pretty. I added some warmth to it. Let's take this brow bone. There's that first matte peachy color we were using. And we're gonna just kind of start shading out that brow bone area. We might go in with the metallic later, but I just kind of wanna clean that up a little. Yeah, there really isn't like a color I'd want to do, and I mean you could do that one an inner corner with, but I think, I don't know, I guess we can try that. Let's try it on the inner corner just to see. We'll take this JACLYN Heel brush. That is a beautiful silvery color, so pretty. I don't typically do silvers in there, but just to try out some of the, oh, that is actually really pretty. Okay, sometimes you just gotta experiment. Ooh, that's actually really pretty. All right, let's try that on the brow bone a little bit. I'm just gonna take it onto this Wayne Goss number 19 brush just to go light-handed with. You know, why not try it? It's not a really strong metallic, so it's going on nice there. I don't know about for the center of the eye. I think you'd have to really build that one up. Again, like the turquoise one, so. Pretty though, really beautiful. All right, let's start on the lower line. We're gonna start off with my eyeliner first. You guys know I talk about this all the time on my channel when I create a lot of my looks. I use this Urban Decay, and this is MAINLINE. It is such a beautiful, it's one of my favorite colors of all time. I just love that color. I love their eyeliners. We're going to take this first color, the darker color we use. Let's use it with my typical brush I always use, which is this No Number Morphe brush. I've been trying to find this brush even on their site and I cannot find it. Whenever you do shadows over your liner, that liner is gonna stay all day. That's why I'm not too worried about how messy I got there. Oh my gosh, that was a perfect eyeliner to use with it. And then what I like to do, now that I got it nice and, you know, locked in there, I like to take like a fluffier pointed brush and really kind of accentuate those edges a little bit just to tie it into that top part. I'm gonna take this CHIKUHODO J146 and to that first transition shade we used, and that's just gonna clean up those edges. See how that just softens out the edges on the bottom? So beautiful. I mean, that's pretty much all we're gonna do. So I'm gonna pop on some lashes and I'll be back in a second. So I popped on my lashes and finished up the rest of my makeup off camera, and I really love the way everything turned out. I am a fan of this Naked palette. I think if you are a Urban Decay Naked fan and you love the palettes, you're gonna love this one. I think it's one of their better ones, to be quite honest. Is it the best palette I've ever used? Not really, but we'll get into that when I go over the product rankings. I do, however, really love this Velvetizer. I think this is a gorgeous finishing powder. Oh my gosh, Urban Decay. I don't know why people are not talking about this powder. It is phenomenal. I only discovered it because I was looking for something to purchase besides the palette, I think to make shipping. I couldn't remember, but I just wanted to add another thing in there. And one thing to keep in mind is if you order from urbandecay.com, you get 15% off your first order. So you can get a little bit of a discount or wait for the Sephora sale. But yeah, that Velvetizer, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to get my hands on the bigger version. I am going to be using this this a lot. I'm putting it like right in front of my face because that is a phenomenal powder. Urban Decay, you need to like promote this a little bit more. This is phenomenal. Like one of the best powders, finishing powders I have ever used. It is insanely good. So if you haven't tried it, try it out. Go on urbandecay.com and get yourself the travel size. That's all that's available right now. And it's worth it because it's not much more than what the regular size is. And I really love that Urban Decay does that. I think that's phenomenal. Usually people hike up the prices when it comes to travel sizes, and they didn't. They kept it very, very comparable to the normal price. So that's awesome. All right, if you're new to my channel, I do a ranking system for new products that I try on my channel. It's a newer thing. I started it at the beginning of this year in 2021, and I love it. And I know I've been hearing a lot of feedback from you guys that you like it. So with eyeshadow palettes, I only do 4 categories. We're just gonna look at packaging, we're gonna look at swatches, application, and pricing, and then I'll give you my total lure score out of 40. So let's go over packaging. The packaging is beautiful. I mean, just stunning. I love that it's raised a little bit with the whole naked and the Urban Decay and the rose gold. I love the theme and like the holographic texture behind the naked. I'm a sucker for packaging, and I think it is absolutely stunning. I did not like the brush, but I'm not going to dock them for that because not all palettes come with good brushes. Typically, I do like the Urban Decay brushes too, but I am going to give it a solid 10 out of 10 because I think the packaging is absolutely beautiful. As far as swatches go, I think the swatches were good. I don't think they were amazing, but again, I don't really like to like base an eyeshadow palette off of swatches. What matters to me is performance. But when you're looking at the overall swatches and the color schemes, I think they're very beautiful. So just looking at it as a whole, like shade range and swatches, I'm gonna give it a good 8 out of 10 because I think it is really, really beautiful. Now, as far as application goes, this is where I was a little disappointed, you guys. I really felt like I was so excited for this dark green and this metallic turquoise shimmer, and I felt like it took me a while to build it up. I felt like my $3 E.L.F. bite-sized palettes had better performance from the get-go, and they were $3. But you don't get this beautiful packaging, and you don't get Urban Decay name with it. So I understand that. I understand it is a brand name, you guys, so you have to remember that. But I am excited to really just play with some of these other colors. I do feel like that crimson red color actually performed really well. So I want to play more with the palette. I don't want to dock it completely because I do like some of these mattes over there as well. So as far as application goes, I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think 7 out of 10 is pretty good, you guys. 70% of me would say the application went on pretty well. As far as pricing goes, pricing, you know, is tough because like I said, you're paying for brand name and you're paying for the packaging. As far as quality goes in pricing, I feel like you're getting ColourPop textures, I should say, in application and swatches, but you're paying for packaging. So ColourPop doesn't give you that beautiful, gorgeous, sturdy packaging and a brand name behind it. So I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. I think $49 is not terribly expensive, especially if you can get a coupon or a discount code on it. I do feel like you're still paying for quality. So 7 out of 10 is not bad. So we're looking at a total allure score of 32 out of 40. So 80% of me would recommend this product. I think actually was a little bit higher than I even imagined because typically I'm not a huge naked palette fan. I just don't always feel like the payoff is that amazing, but the colors are what really drew me in and made me want to buy this product. So 80% of me would recommend this product to you guys if this was something that you were interested, or you were interested in these shadow tones, these color tones. But you know, is it something you can pass on if you don't have the means or you don't really need it? I think so. I think there's better palettes out there, especially if you're not a big eyeshadow person, that you can get better deals on. And you don't care about packaging, then yeah, I would pass on it if I were you. But if you are like me and you're a makeup enthusiast and you just love makeup and you love playing with shadows, I think it is a beautiful palette to add to your collection. If you're a makeup artist, I think it is a beautiful palette to have on hand for different looks. And they performed well. I mean, I think it's, you know, all in all, they performed well. It took me a while to get there, but they performed well. So very happy with that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please remember, if you're new to my channel, to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. Give this video a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye.
Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine. Wanna move my feet, wanna drink my wine.